morning, my knitters. I'm Karen. This is Recreational Knitting, and this is where I talk about all the things yarny and knitting. This is primarily a knitting podcast, although I am teaching myself to crochet, not showing you what I've done too much yet. Thank you to all those who helped me out with going through 2 loops, going through 1 loop. I just had no explanation for that, so I appreciate your help. Thank you. Okay, happy Mother's Day in America, anyway. I hope you have a very peaceful day. And I'm enjoying my coffee in my peace mug. Yes, indeed. So our Bonnie girl is on heartworm treatment. She came to us and we knew that she was heartworm positive and that she would have to have some treatment. So she's on doxycycline, and she's supposed to be kept quiet. And so far, that's been mostly, I'd say 95% of the time, achievable. This morning, they're absolutely freaking nuts. So my day, I'm hoping, is peaceful. So how have you been? I'm hoping that Mother's Day brings you everything that you want. And most of us just want peace and quiet and somebody to pick up their dirty clothes off the floor, right? Am I right? Yeah. I remember one Mother's Day, I think my daughters were, like 11, 12, and 5 maybe. And they were in that, she touched me, the thinking that the 12-year-old would bring the 5-year-old up to her level. Oh no, it went the other direction. So yeah, so I just remember one day, what do you want for Mother's Day? I want you to not argue with each other. The day got there and I said, remember, I don't want anything. I want you just to not argue with each other. So Mama doesn't have to deal with this. Well, I think it lasted till about 10 o'clock in the morning. And so after that, it's like, whatever. Whatever happens on Mother's Day happens. So anyway, I have no finished objects. I know, no goat, no pickle, no nothing. Yeah, so I have been knitting. It's been a challenging knitting week. I did a lot of unknitting, but I did do a lot of knitting. I have made progress on my Ranunculus and my Anker shirt, and those are the 2 things that I really want to finish in the month of May. I think by next week, I should have my Ranunculus done. Hold on while I get those. Yarn. All right. Here's my Ranunculus that I was working on last week. I was here. There's my new little swimming gal. And I've gone to here. I'm on the 2nd skein now. So it's just round and round. I just need to find a couple nights where I'm really motivated to finish this, and it should be finished. Don't know how much yarn I will have and how long the sleeves will be, but I'm right now about my navel, and I would like to have at least 2 more inches on the body and then the ribbing. So yeah, so I'm making progress. I don't know why that fish is there. I don't know. Obviously, there was a reason at some point to take that off. But yeah, that's the Ranunculus. Loving it, loving it, loving it. I will be casting on, excuse me, trick knee, literally. I will be starting a couple new ones this summer. Yeah, I've got 2 skeins of a lot of different wool, and other things. I have some silk that I have. I probably have 800 and 50 grams of that. So I'll probably be casting on one of that, you know, just something different. And I may be starting one, yarn again. I may be starting one next week. My local yarn store is, Max, leave her alone. My local yarn store is going to jump in with the Barocco summer knit along. I'm not sure what they call it, but it's a summer tea knit along, and you can get prizes and all that stuff. So I thought I would do that. And I have an acquisition for that. Not sure if it's the right acquisition, but it's the acquisition I got. So let's get back to my second. Here is my Anker. Let's see, where did I put the, did it fall off? It may have fallen off. No. I was going to say, because some of them I find on the floor, and I'm not sure if it's dogs, but I have done that much this week. Not a lot, but you know, if I can do that every week, I'll have it done in May. Yeah, this is the Anker summer shirt. This is my local yarn store, Sandy Skeins. It's what she dyes. She and a partner dye this, and they dye it in gradients. So I think I told you the story about how I like that color instead of that color up against my face. So I started with this, and I'm not real happy, but it's all right. I'll wear it. It's not a problem. It is very nice yarn. I do like the yarn. So yeah, I'll be working on that again this week. Those are my two priorities. Please tell that to my cast-on-itis. I'm wearing the Vibes tee. I forgot to tell you, I'm wearing the Vibes tee by Tif Neilan. Let me stand up so you can really see it. Stripey. The original pattern, I think, really only has little sleeves. I like a elbow length sleeve, cover up the wings. I changed a lot of things. One of them being, well, first of all, this whole arm part would not be there. So I just did those in stockinette rather than any of the eyelet, or I forget what that stitch is called. But anyway, I didn't do any of that as planned, I don't think. So yeah, this was done in roslyn. I don't have the colorways, and it really isn't important because it's a discontinued yarn by Cascade. And then this is a hand dyed that I had, the stripey part. And I thought it went well. But yeah, I still have over there, I don't know whether you can see, excuse me. I don't know whether you can see that there might be some yarn over there. I can see the dark, the blue over there. I still have some of that left. So yeah, I really like this. I did not put a collar on it once I tried it on and said, I like it, because you're supposed to pick up and do, I'm not sure if it's an I-cord or ribbing, not sure at this point, but I really liked it just for my cast on. I have a couple sweaters that I've done that way, and sometimes I almost prefer it. Down here in Florida, we have hot weather. And when you have too much up around a neck, for me, it's overwhelming. So, all right, got that taken care of. Those are my two works in progress that you hopefully will be seeing finishes on soon. I am working hard on what's this called? The Mermaid's Pearl Advent Sunset Shawl. Mermaid's Pearl, and of course I'm in the middle of the row because it's like 8 bazillion But I've started, I don't know whether you can see that very well or not, but I've started another color blue. I finished the other color blue, but it just goes on and on and on and on and on. I haven't counted. I would probably be a little depressed but it's great TV knitting. So this is where I was the last time. So for that many stitches, I've made a ton of progress, I think. So yeah, again, middle of the row, great podcaster. We'll get a decent picture out of this. And of course, I just pulled some of those off, even with these little doodads on there. Let me get those back on real quick. They're not on there right, but they're on there. All right. I'm back. I had to find this little thing, and of course Bonnie had it underneath her paw because it's now considered hers. It fell on the floor. All right, I had been working on two objects that I have on my Make 9. Well, actually 3 things. And you'll see here in a minute. I'm going to put this up for you. This is what I've been working on this week. A smidge. This Wisdom and Moon shawl. Hoi. This is a new and improved Make 9. This shawl right here is what I substituted out for one of the other things that I frogged already. It was the Eva cardigan, and I just couldn't see it. Wasn't bringing me joy. Can't have that. Oh my gosh, this pattern. Stop. This is called Unfree. And it is by Stitches and String Theory, if you're interested. It's a little more complex than a typical shawl might be. It's got this beautiful cable. And then it goes into stockinette. So I cast this on this past week. Haven't gotten very far, which is not surprising given everything else I've been doing. But this is where I've gotten so far. Can we see this? So you can see that there's a cable on there. And here's my, I've tried these. I like them. They're cable needles if you haven't seen them before. But you can also use them as a shawl pin. But they're great for cabling. And I've been using them on this particular thing. This is something that I got from my stash, but I have no idea where this came from. I don't remember purchasing it. I don't remember being in a dye class that I dyed it. I've not taken a dye class. So I'm not sure where this came from, but it was all caked up. So I obviously had plans at one point, and I don't think that this is, I know this isn't Mouse Witch yarns, because I know I still have some of hers. Hers is way more fluffier than this. This is a nice wool, but yeah, can you see the orange flecks in there? I mean, it's going to be pretty. So that is called, again, Unfree by Stitches and String Theory. So that's a new one that I've worked on this week. And I'm keeping that in my swimming bag because it's small enough. Okay. So let's see. Let's go again. I've worked on this. This is being ignored. I started this. I have not worked on this sock this week just because this is something that I worked on this week. This is the Jarrell, where is it? Jarrell Shawl by Martha Wissing. And it's a rather large shawl. This is in fingering weight, and she has it double, so obviously a DK weight, but she has sparkle in there. You can't see it from this picture. You can't even see it from her picture until you buy the pattern. Then you realize that she's got some sparkle in there. But it's just an easy, you know, yarn over kind of thing. And I had bought some Beach Bunny yarn, which is a local dyer to me. And this is in the Island Sport in the colorway Cayenne. Love their yarn. It's really lovely. And there's 328 yards in each skein. And this is where I'm at in the first skein. So I've about halfway through, if you go by that. But I probably won't because I'm closer to the end than I realize. All right. So you see it's an open mesh kind of shawl, which I do appreciate in Florida. There's where I was last time I showed it. So I've made progress. I've made good progress, given that there's like over 200. No, I don't think there's 200 yet stitches on there. But yeah, it goes relatively quickly. It'd be nice to have a finish on my Make 9 before December, wouldn't it? Every year I do this Make 9 and I end up with, you know, Make 4, Make 5. It's one of the reasons that I changed a couple of these out. Whether that's cheating, don't know. But again, that's the Jarrell Shawl by Martha Wissing. It's a paid for pattern. There's the name, Jarrell, Shawl. It's down in the Make 9 below. Oh, and that reminds me, I have to change some of those. So, yeah, so I have worked on, no, 3. And this is the third one. This is the Ozetta Moon Shawl. Moon Vest, excuse me. I just read shawl in that other pattern. And at the time, I did not have a great, any color ink in my printer. But this is what the front looks like of this particular vest. And I have worked pretty hard on this the last 2 days. This was the back that I had finished the last time I'd shown you. And I had started this little piece up here that's going to be the collar. And you pick up stitches using this along this edge, and you start to do the vest front. And if I can get this to cooperate, there is the vest piece that I just showed you. So this is what it will look like. So I've got about 10 or 12 more rows to do in this front. Then I go and pick up the shoulder of the second. Well, I think I should pick this up and go over and then stitch down, and then I'll be in the round, which means that I need to change my needle, because the last time I did this with my tension changed. So this is made with Cascade yarns, and of course I don't have the thing, but this is about how much I have left, I think, of the first one. Pretty sure. It's BFL. It's lovely, 100% BFL, and this is in the color Rose. Editing Karen. Cascade Yarns, Cascade BFL. That's what I'm using for my Moon set Slipover by Ozetta. Yeah, it's not merino, but I love it. And, I do like the pattern. Once I got my head wrapped around it, it was pretty good. I just couldn't figure out the construction at first. Dogs, I'm going to take you back to the shelter from which you came. Not really. They did pull down some of my yarn. I'm going to show you later, just because. And Bonnie owns everything that she touches on the ground. I'm not sure where she got this, but that's where she is. All right, let's go back to make 9. Make 9 of Ranunculus. That's the pink one that you've been looking at. Dingley Dell, I haven't worked on that at all. And this is the Mrs. Watson shawl by Martina Behm. And I have not worked on that at all. Working more on my sweaters at this point. So I have been making some progress. Probably not as much as I'd like, but that's how things are. Anyway, that is my make 9 progress. Not bad. Not bad. I just wanted to tell you of something that I've been doing, and I haven't filled this in for the last 2 days. Yeah, 2 days. There's a local yarn store in Fort Worth, Texas. It's called West 7th Wool. If you've not been there, highly recommended it. They're doing a knit or crochet every day in May. And I'm not sure what the requirements are, but that you could, if you do every day in May, you will, and you fax it into them or email it back into them, they will give you a $5 off coupon. So I think it's worth it. I'm doing it anyway. You're probably doing it anyway. So fill it in. I'm not sure, this is mark your progress on this tracker. It doesn't have to be much, just a row or even a stitch is their rule. And then you have to submit this by June 4th. And they give you the email address, and they will draw a winner from all the completed entries. Mouth, come on. Everybody who completes the challenge will receive $5 off a purchase, which you can't beat. So I filled in the projects that I have been working on. I didn't fill it in for yesterday, nor have I done it for today. But it fits right in with everything that I've done so far with my May and every day so far this year, including my day of surgery, I have knit. Is it a sickness? Not sure. So, last time I told you I was going to put winners in there. Yeah. That did not occur. So it appears that Karen needs to do it verbally. All right. We have 3 different winners. We have, this is Briggs and Little yarn. This is the same dye lot. It's been caked up. This is what I found. So instead of 2 winners, we're now having 3. And there's 2 that have not been caked up. This is Tuffy, which is Canadian yarn. And again, after your Prime Minister's visit to the White House, I still say, I'm very sorry. So I found some Canadian wool to give to some of my viewers. And I picked those names for last time, forgot to put them in. Who knew? So anyway, we took the comments. I did all the random pickers, but I can't show you because I am recording on my phone. And the first winner is Knit, Whips, and Chains. I think you've won before. Yeah, very good, which doesn't matter. I don't care. Yeah, and I know that you live, I think, in Minnesota or Michigan, one of those two. So that will be nice, warm wool. And you're probably live in sunny Phoenix, who knows? But I think, yeah, if memory serves me, and sometimes it does, you live in one of those M states that's cold. Maybe Maine, I don't know. And the second winner of 2 skeins of that is Knitting in the Northwest. And I say the Northwest, I don't know where the Northwest is except for the Portland, Seattle area. So I'm hoping that that's a good match. We'll see. And the third winner is going to be Briggs & Little Heritage in that beautiful, I don't know, periwinkle, lilac. It's called Fundy Fog. So apparently that's what the fog looks like in the Bay of Fundy. Never been, so I can't tell you, but it's beautiful. And this is 2-ply, and it's 113 grams. Lovely wool. Not too scratchy for me, but too hot for me. So, Sandy Vandervoort, I think I got that right. Sandy Vandervoort, yes, okay. It's hard when it's all lower caps. 4305. I can't imagine that there's 4,000 more Sandy Vandervoorts, but I'm sure there's a reason that you've got that. You get the purple, yay! So, I will put your names, if this pea brain remembers, here. So, contact me at recreationalknitting@gmail.com with your address, and I will get that out to you sometime this week. I doubt that you'll see it before tomorrow, but I am going to the post office tomorrow. But if you see it, hit me up, and I'll try to get that back out to you. So hopefully none of you live in areas that are going to cost me $34 to send it. That was a little sticker shock for me. So, yes. So I hope you like your Canadian yarn. I loved it and wished I could have used it. So, Florida, it's not happening. Okay. Plans. Remember that Christmas cast on in July? Well, still doing it. I've been adding things to it because I remembered things that I had wanted to do. So I think I have 4 cast on plans. I showed you a couple last week, but this one I totally had forgotten about. I jumped on the gnome train. I saw this in a couple podcasts and I loved it. I'm not a big gnome person. I do have one Christmas gnome. He's red. He's commercial. I didn't make him, but he's very cute. And he looks like they could be first cousins, except for he's all red and this one isn't. So this is going to be my cast on, one of my cast ons for the month of July. And as I was looking at this, I go, I'm just going to get the kit. So I got the kit. Comes with all the right stuff. I've got all my needles. And yeah, so ready to rock and roll. July the 1st. So that's one that I'll be doing. Then I told you last time that I was going to do Christmas stockings. And I have gotten everything there together, except I still need to roll this red. We're going to make them really Christmassy, red, white, and green. and I may do them opposite, or I might find gray for Luke. Not sure what it will be, but I've got at least one to cast on. I have some gray up there. I'll have to look and see if it is a fingering weight. This is what this pattern calls for. This is from Behm. Love it. It's copyrighted 2013, so it may or may not be available, but it's called the Osen Christmas Stocking, and it's a little booklet. And I have a feeling it was like a little freebie at a local yarn store somewhere, but that's what I'll be making with that. So that's cast on number 2. So that means I need to get moving on some of these cast offs. Excuse me. Okay, I'm back. That was nice. Okay. Told you I was going to cast on a sweater or t-shirt for me, and I found a pattern. Les Knit. Hopefully you can see that. It's gotten dark in here. Let me turn the light on. I don't know if that really helps, but yeah, it looks like it's going to storm. We are now entering our rainy season. Yes, Florida has a rainy season, and it's May, June. And this is when we get the majority of our precipitation, is during this time. And it's turned real ugly. Yeah. Happy Mother's Day. It's okay. Sit in and knit, right? This is Les Knit. Let me take it out of it's called the Clover Tea. And I think Les Knit is her company. And Leanne Home Samso, and of course I butchered that, Samsoe. But I think if you look on Ravelry at Clover Tea, and it's got the little flowery things, lacy kind of things, but it only comes down to the yoke, which I like. I don't want it down my belly. Yeah. So I think I'm going to use that. And I had pulled down a t-shirt that I had started last year. It wasn't the right yarn for the pattern. I don't know if this will be either, but I'm going to try. This is basically, let me see, Synchrony in the color Baby's Breath. So it's kind of it has a little bit of a pink hue to it. And this is 60% cotton, 40% wool. Perfect. Perfect. And this is by Brown Sheep. And I'm hoping that this is the correct gauge, because it really doesn't. It says 20 stitches, but they don't give you the inches. They give you the meterage. And that's never good. 5 stitches. Yeah, this should be good. This should be good to go. So, bad picture, bad lighting. You see how gray it is out there? Ugh. Sorry if you have balance issues and you get sick with people with the Dramamine. That's it. So, anywho, so that will be another cast on. So I think that's probably good, but you know me. It's a possibility that I'll probably cast on a 4th thing, which is going to be the Wishing Star Shawl. And it's a 1-skein shawl. It's by Helen Stewart Curious Handmade. And this is the picture that my printer printed out when it no longer had ink. It went all the way down. It was beautiful. Beautiful shawl. Yeah. This is the shape of it. Crescent shape. I personally like those the best. And very easy picot edging around the bind off, which is going to be the most challenging. Pretty much knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, you know, increase. So, yeah, that's what I think I probably will do if I need a fourth object, because I have finished all of my projects. No. Yeah, so I have oodles and oodles of this for the sweater and a new purchase that may go for this shawl. This is Emma's yarn for May 2025. It's her Super Silky, which is all my local yarn store carries. And it's 80% merino and 20% silk, so it's really heavenly. And so I think that that might be kind of what I'm looking for, but I have a lot in there too. So I'm going to go through and see if there's something that might be more neutral and that I might like better. We'll see. So, oh, everything's falling on the floor this morning. At least it's not me. And my head has been in the way for most of this podcast. And I'm going to move over this way so you can see my beautiful tulips that my Luke gave me for Mother's Day. Thank you. You're the best. Okay, another acquisition, and this is for the Make Along from Barocco. Not sure exactly what it's called, but it's, if you go on to Facebook, they have a Facebook group that you can you're welcome to join. And I don't know how that all works on Facebook, but yeah, it's you cast on May 14th, and I think by the end of June, you're to have a finished tee, and you send in something somewhere and maybe win a prize. But wow, yeah, what do you think? Is that a Florida or what? I'm going to go put on the light. No, because the light needs to be over there. Yeah, when I started this, it was nice and sunny. Okay, so this is for a cast on. I want to cast on another ranunculus. I'm not sure that this is what I should use. I need to go onto the projects page and see if anybody has done it in Modern Cotton DK. And this is 60% cotton and 40% viscose. So it won't lose its shape, and it will be cotton. So yeah, I bought 3 skeins of that for that particular make along. So, oh, and let's go back to that July and Christmas cast on. I think I showed you this last time, but this is some Mad Tosh single in the colorway. It's one of my favorite water. Celadon. Okay. Water, Celadon. Who knows? Anyway. Kind of a neutrally blue-green. But I'm going to try to make a love note out of that. So I have my work cut out for me in July for casts on. Cast-ons. Which is it? Cast-ons. Yeah. So I think I have 4 there. Or 5. I'm not certain. this won't be included in that because that is coming up next week, the 14th Wednesday. So yeah, I'll cast this on depending on what I find out about the Ranunculus. I'll either do that or, believe it or not, I might do a Bustleton, which is this pattern right here. It's a freebie by Erica Flory Designs. I had made another one. So yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to look at some projects and see if I can use this. But everybody has talked so nicely of this yarn for Florida. I wanted to give it a try. So we'll see. Surprise next week, right? It'll be a big surprise. All right, what else? Have I gotten anything else? No, acquisitions are now over. I didn't think I had bought anything. I've been cleaning parts of my craft room. This is overwhelming, but I will get there. I see lots of projects in my future. I also see some giveaways in my future, so yeah. So those of you that won, your names are already up earlier in the podcast, so check it out, see if you won. And I just want to thank everybody who has contributed by subscribing, by liking a video, by commenting on a video, by commenting on another comment. You know you can do that, right? Okay, yeah. I just want to thank all of you. It really means a lot to me. I've gotten a lot of new viewers in the last couple of weeks. Blows me away. Yeah, I didn't think I'd get to 50 when I first started this. Seriously, this was made for me to make sure that I was using yarn that I was buying and that I was finishing things. Some accountability. Thank you to all who have contributed to my Ko-fi account. It means so very much, and you know who you are. Thank you so much. That does help defray the cost of postage. So if you're so inclined, I think my Ko-fi link is still down there. Yeah, every once in a while I'll get a couple bucks and it was like, woohoo, you know? Yeah, I'm not one of these people that, yeah, I'm not going out and buying new TVs and that kind of thing. No, this is for postage. So I do appreciate that. I really do, because it's fun for everybody to enter themselves into a giveaway or, you know, whatever it is. You know, and you never know, you might win. I've won a couple times. You know, I've won a pattern, I've won yarn. I think I won a project bag once, way back in the day. But yes, it's fun to win things. And, but I do appreciate everybody that has contributed to that Ko-fi account. And I just want to make sure that you're finding joy in your life, with your knitting life, and with life in general. Yeah, it's a hard time in our civilization. Seems like it's worldwide that things are challenging, to say the least. But you have to find joy where you can. It's the tulips. It's the pretty pink yarn. Repurposing yarn that you pulled down. And coffee. So on that note, knit in peace.